Neither of you. Right, okay. Do not move. We're moving on now. American Bully XL dogs in England and Wales must now be kept on a lead and muzzled in public. Breeding, selling or abandoning American Bully XL dogs is also illegal. But is it down to the dog or the owner? This is the age-old question, is it, with dangerous dogs? Joining us to help break down the new rules is dog trainer Rob Elaine. Rob, thank you very much for joining us today. So what the new rules coming to force today, can you just explain briefly what they mean if you are an owner of a XL Bully?
So what it'll mean now is it'll mean you'll have to register it to say that you own an XL Bully. You'll have to have it microchipped. You'll have to have third-party insurance, and you'll have to keep it on a lead and muzzle in any public place, which will include, for example, in your car. Your car, for the purposes of this act, is seen as a public place. So you could be charged just for having it in the car without a lead on.
That's amazing. I mean, it's not like the police have got a lot to do in any case, is it? But the age-old question with dangerous dogs is it the owner, is it bad owners, or is it bad dogs?
Well, there's always been that adage, there are no bad dogs, only bad owners. And I personally never thought that to be quite true. There are some dogs, like some people, that are just kind of born bad. Usually it's down to very poor genetics, and certainly we've seen this in the XL Bully. There are some bloodlines that are worse than others. And you see some dogs that I've seen as puppies that you straight away think, at 4 or 5 months old, there's something not right with that dog, and there is a genetic predisposition within some bloodlines. And of course, the dog you're showing there looks terrifying, but if you look at that dog, somebody's cropped its ears. Again, in this one, somebody's cut its ears off to make it look more hostile. And so, of course, the perception is this dog is more dangerous because somebody's tried to make it look dangerous. And in fact, that dog may have a wonderful temperament. But what I've seen is an awful lot of XL Bullies who have fantastic temperaments, as most bull breeds do. But if you're the sort of person who wants to take a dog and make it dangerous, well, then you can do that, just as you can with any dog. You can take any dog, bring it up badly, and it will become a badly behaved dog. And so my argument has always been, like with every other law, what we should do is punish the actual offender, which is the owner, not the dog. You know, if I stab you, we don't punish the knife. We punish me because I'm the one who was in control of it. And I think the same should be true with these dogs. If we look at almost every case where somebody's been killed by one, it's one where the owner wasn't present. The dog has escaped. He's got out. If we start something more legal, that's not going to change. If you see here again, in this video, which many of us have seen, where's the owner? It's a loose dog. That's not the dog's fault. The owner allowed that dog to be at large. And that's what we see time and time and time again with these dogs. It's some irresponsible person that allowed the dog to be at large. We should be punishing the owner, not the dog.
So, Rob, if you are the owner of an XL Bully, you can register it and get and have it added to the index of exempting dogs, I understand.
Right, yeah. Okay. Of course, by doing that, what's going to happen, and I've had several people contact me who are registering their dogs, even though they genuinely believe it not to be an XL Bully, simply because it looks like one. And they're worried that if they don't register it and they get stopped by the police, they could end up losing their dog, going to court, etc. So just a friend of mine just recently, a couple of days ago, contacted me. Her dog is a Mastiff Staffordshire Bull Terrier cross. She bought it as one. She saw the owners. She saw the parents when the dog was born, but it looks like an XL Bully. So she's in this dilemma. Do I not register it and run the risk of getting prosecuted? Do I register it even though I know it isn't one? And then I have to keep my dog on the lead the rest of its life.
This is the problem, isn't it? And we're now tasking our police officers, who barely have time to do with burglaries and other serious crime, with identifying what is actually an XL Bully.
Well, what will happen, I suspect, is nothing really will get done. If we look at the Dangerous Dogs Act, it's been around since 1990, and it's estimated 33 years later there are more pit bull terriers in this country than there were when the Act came in. It failed on every level, spectacularly. And this will be no different. There are even less resources available now than there were then. And if I go down to London now, I will see pit bull terriers walking around the streets. But the vast majority of people are responsible with them. And I don't think the police or any other agency want to put down perfectly fit, healthy dogs if an owner is being responsible with it. So I think it's even less likely to happen in 2023. 33 years later, we see it hasn't even worked with one breed. Why do we think it's going to be any more effective? You've got lots of vets who are coming forward, rightly so, saying, look, we were bullied into putting to sleep a lot of healthy, innocent dogs in 1990. We're not prepared to do it again.
Right.
So we say that these dogs will get put to sleep, but who's going to do that? The vets don't want to do it. The rescues obviously don't want to do it. You don't become a rescuer to kill innocent dogs. So in reality, what's going to happen with these dogs? I think it's an absolute travesty. It really is. You know.
Rob, unfortunately, we have to leave it there.
Growing up in London, I witnessed this kind of discrimination all the time as a child, simply being the wrong colour. And you'd like to think 50 years later, things should have moved on. But here we are now killing a dog just because of how it looks. I think it's disgusting.
Rob, just find a quick. If someone is listening to us now, watching us now, and they own a perfectly well-behaved XL bully, but they're not quite sure what to do, just a quick bit of advice what they should do now with their dog.
So there are lots of places, if you look on social media, particularly on Facebook, there are lots of dog trainers and so on who are offering facilities to help you train your dog in private fields that they're renting. So you can go there, you can take your dog there, know that you're not going to be collared by anybody else, and you can learn how to control that dog safely. And certainly there are lots of people offering that. If you're not sure where to go, by all means, you can contact me either through my website or via email, robalane@aol.com, and I can put you in touch with some people who will help you. There are lots and lots. The vast majority of owners are very responsible and just want to know what to do next. You don't have to put your dog to sleep, as you already mentioned. You can have it exempted, which may mean that you have to keep it on a lead and muzzle when you're out, but at least you still get to keep your dog. You don't have to put your dog to sleep.
Rob, that's really good advice. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's Robalane, dog trainer there, and a very happy new year to you and yours as well. Thank you for joining us. Benjamin and Charlie, I mean, we've heard horrible stories about people, dumping dogs. It's just incredibly sad that people feel that pressurised by that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big sadnesses about this whole story. We are a nation of animal lovers, we are a nation of dog lovers, and so the fact that people feel that pressure to either ditch their current dog because they're not quite sure whether rules and regulations are going to land, whether they're affected or not. But that was a fascinating interview, and it's absolutely right. It's down to the responsible, us as responsible dog owners. I'm not a dog owner, but it is individuals that have to look after their dogs, because it shouldn't be a job for the police to do. People want police on the street.
The police can't tackle burglars and assault. I mean, how are they meant to identify what an XL bully is?
And that's the thing, because the XL bully is a very recent breed. It's several others combined in quite recent history, and so there are a lot of other dogs which look very similar to XL bullies. It's difficult for experts to be sure exactly which dog is an XL bully and which isn't, because of their similarities. And I think one of the reasons that a ban would fail as legislation is because it doesn't look at the human reasons that he outlined, as Rob outlined, which is that they're getting these dogs as status symbols. That's why they want them to be aggressive in some cases. So you can ban this breed of dog, which is slightly difficult to identify in the first place, but you won't be stopping those people that want status symbols. There's a reason they have an XL bully, not a poodle, and you're not solving that problem by banning one time.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, but many people are responsible owners, but please listen to Rob's advice and don't panic. There are things you can do. Go to his website and check out what advice he will give you.